Most tourists who arrive in Bangkok will spend a short time here before moving on to other parts of the country. If you've just arrived and you've got a few days to kill in the Sukhumvit area, stick around for the next 10 minutes. Well, it's a hot day here in Sukhumvit Road, isn't it always? Well, it is rainy season, so we might get a downpour a little bit later on. If you've just arrived here and you're wondering, what do I do now? Where do I eat? Where do I drink? Where do I go shopping? Where can I have a nice walk? I want to see some culture. Stick with me to the end of the video and I promise you'll be a lot wiser. Getting about is incredibly easy around here, and it's about a mile from Asok to Nana, which is roughly what this video is covering, and at least half of that has a skywalk above the street, which is great if you want to avoid the pavements, the market stalls, the people and the humidity. And if you do see a restaurant, coffee shop or a shop you want to go to, you just take the stairs. One of the harsh realities here on Sukhumvit Road is the number of beggars you'll see sitting on the street, and it may be tempting to hand over a few baht. But do bear in mind that your money is not going to them directly, it's going to an organisation that have put them on the street to beg in return for food and a place to sleep. So if you do want to part with your baht, give it to the man who plays the tune. If you're browsing hotels in this area, you'll find that there's just so many to choose from. The last time I stayed in a hotel on Sukhumvit Road was about 10 years ago. I was right here at the Sofitel, and it was a very nice stay indeed. Anyway, if I had one piece of advice to give anyone booking a hotel in Bangkok, that would be book it for 2 nights maximum, because the chances are you'll want a change of scenery, and then you can just move to a different part of the city. I thought I'd personally point out this very special hotel at the end of Soi 2. It's called the Atlanta, and it was built in 1952, probably the oldest hotel in the area. It prides itself on its exclusivity, its grand architecture and design. It was the first hotel to have a swimming pool. Anyway, it's reopening in October this year, so I thought I'd give you a heads up on that. Keep that date in your diary. If you're thinking of flying to Bangkok, make sure you reserve a place right here at the Atlanta. Well, as evening rolls in, there's no better time to be sitting outside watching the rush hour roll by slowly. One such place where you can do just that is Bullies, just over there. You can grab a cold beer, some great ribs, watch some live sport. A few months ago I claimed it was closing down to make way for this posh gym, but that is definitely not the case. They're still very much open, and the bull is still standing guard outside the doors. Sometimes your mind, your brain might need to recharge its batteries, needs a bit of TLC, and a walk in the park is perfect for that. Sukhumvit Road can stress you out even if you're just here for 2 or 3 days. I'll show you where the parks are in a while. First, I wanted to show you an urban walk that will give you a chance to see a more raw side of Bangkok, one you'd never normally get to see. Plus, I'll show you where the local temple is, and I'll show you where the canal is, and you can take boats on that canal to other parts of the city. So to start the walk, you've got to get to the very beginning of Sukhumvit Road, and that is just past Nana BTS station, where the railway line crosses the street. If you do decide to take a walk along the track through the railway community, then do bear in mind it is their home, so it's not a good idea to wave cameras about too openly, and try to stay in smaller groups as well. The locals are friendly anyway. But I just wanted to give you a word of warning. If you do trip over and cut your leg or get bitten by a rabid chicken along that track, then your travel insurance are very unlikely to cough up any dollars if you tell them that it happened there. So a little tip for you. Just behind me here is the local temple. This is Makasan Temple, or Wat Makasan to locals. And this is a nice place you can stroll around. It's a particularly elegant temple that's just been refurbished, so that's a good way to kill 30 minutes or so and get a bit of meditation time if that's your thing. Well, this traffic is driving me absolutely crazy. Let's head to a couple of greener spaces where you can kick back, relax, recharge your batteries, and to get there we've got to head down to the end of Soi 10. Here at the bottom of Soi 10 is the wooden bridge, and from here you can take a left and go towards Benja Kitty Park. If you take a right, you go towards the brand new Forest Park, which is a jungle in the middle of an urban jungle. And there's also a place called the Green Mile, which is pretty interesting as well. But first, let's have a look at a few pictures of both parks. This is the Green Mile, which is nothing to do with the Tom Hanks film, although I do believe they asked him to come and cut the ribbon when it opened a few years ago. It's actually a walkway that connects here to Lumpini Park, and you'll find hikers, walkers, kids bunking off school, people loitering around, nannies taking the dogs out or taking the kids out, as well as cyclists. And you get a few sweaty joggers wearing masks who look like they're about to collapse. So if you see one of them coming towards you, step out of the way. Shopping options around here, you're pretty spoilt for choice. You've got Terminal 21 shopping mall, you've got a couple of other department stores down the road. These are also good for escaping the heat as well. Then there's all the market stalls that are set up along the pavement, so there's plenty to occupy you if you want to get your shopping fix. Some of you may be wondering how safe are the streets around here, and a couple of months ago I did a video called Is Bangkok Safe? I covered this area of Sukhumvit Road, and the general feeling from that video is that you're highly unlikely to be a victim of any kind of street crime, although common sense precautions should still be taken. There are a lot of cops out and about, and they're not all in uniform. One of the downsides to getting taxis around here is the problem of getting them to switch on their meters. The only thing I can advise is to download an app like Bolt or Grab and get a taxi that way. I'm at Deck 5 here in Sukhumvit Soy 8, and it's a place where good food and drink, good vibes, great music at the right volume and good conversation all come together. It's one of the oldest establishments in the area, and next week they're celebrating their 31st birthday, and it's definitely a place I personally recommend here in Sukhumvit Soy 8. Call me old-fashioned, but I think street food should be eaten at street level, on the street. Forget the fancy food courts in the shopping malls selling what they claim is street food. It may look the same, taste the same, might even be a little bit cheaper, but you're sitting in a sterile environment. It's not the same authentic experience. Some of you may be worried about the hygiene of street food, so I've got a compromise for you. Across the road from Terminal 21, Sukhumvit Soy 14, Suda restaurant right here. She does all the same street food favourites. People are going to moan and say they can get it for 30 baht cheaper in Terminal 21, but if you've travelled halfway across the world to moan about 75 pence, maybe you should have stayed at home. Her portions are well worth it. It's almost 9 p.m. and the traffic is still heavy here on Sukhumvit Road, particularly around the intersection here with Soy 11. And if I had to recommend one place down Soy 11 with some fantastic Indian food, then it can only be Little Spicy. So what makes Little Spicy so special? What's so great about coming here?
Because of our food is very clean and fresh and healthy and cheaper. And so many customers we get every day. We are busy till 3 a.m. So I recommend people, if you visit in Bangkok, you must have to come here for test in Indian, best Indian food, healthy and fresh. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Well, you heard
Everyone
it here.
Come here.
Little Spicy needs no more introduction than that. I think it's only fair that I do recommend at least one place where you can party late into the night, and this is on Soy 6 here, a street that's gaining a good reputation as an oasis away from the brashness and the noise of Soy 4. This is a place where you get more bang for your baht, and when it's closing time doesn't mean you've got to go home. It's the Kicking Donkey, where else? Last time we spoke, the Kicking Donkey was a little bit busy. Now it's getting massively popular. What can customers expect coming to the Kicking Donkey?
I think most of them like to come because of the pool. We do have certain things like steak nights and food venues, for them. But really it's people out during COVID right after that have really supported Champs and Kicking Donkey. And now it's growing because it's about half tourists every night. Which is a good thing to see, and I think as the hotels open down here, I think you'll see more and more tourists start to come.
And tell us what happens at closing time in the Kicking Donkey, because the party's not over, is it? You've got another place which is going to become Nana's new little secret. Tell us about that.
Well, with the restrictions being removed on the closing times, most of our bars can stay open till at least 2 o'clock, some later. But people in the past preferred nightclubs, which you've got Swan's new Swan Club, you've got Country Road upstairs, and you can walk right out the back door and go into a nightclub, or you can stay inside the small bars, which aren't as loud, and play pool. So you've got kind of a good mix of places.
What's the closing time? That's what people want to know.
You know, that's what we want to know as well. You know, we think it's possibly for the nightclubs, it can be 4 o'clock in the morning like it used to be, perhaps a little bit later, but we just kind of do what they tell us.
Well, I hope you found this video informative, interesting, useful, enjoyable, and I hope there's a few tips and ideas you can keep in mind if you're heading for the Sukhumvit Road area. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. There's also lots of history and area guides to different parts of the city in there as well. If you've got any questions, feel free to send me an email. And if you want to support the channel, you can make a donation via the Buy Me a Coffee link down below. That just leaves me to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.